fun
Welcome
face, man.
to the SLTP, aka the Secret Lorcana Testing Podcast. R2 still here, filling in for Dylan. I've got with me to start, as always, Josh Shaddocks, and today we've got Color, Fumbles, and Bumi Jr. How's it going, guys?
What's up?
Good. Doing well, thanks.
Hi.
Well, set 7 is here. We're one weekend into the meta. And we've had set champs timing revealed. So, as we start getting rolling and everything, set champs will be happening between, what is this, May 3rd through May 25th.
That seems awfully late, right?
It is late because if the 25th is on a Sunday, then that Friday, the 30th, Reign of Jafar launches. They have not had them bump up like that yet.
I wonder if that is going to be the new norm moving forward, where set champs will be like a celebration of the whole format, like the send-off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, normally it's about somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks in between when it ends. Obviously, the Stitch one was weird because it was like, 10 days total? And then after that, it turned
wasn't
into
like a
the whole month
kind of thing. It was play as many tournaments as you can in these 10 days.
Yeah. We've also got the ICL Round 2 has begun. There's currently a match being played right now while we're recording. SLTC will be playing on week 3 on the 24th of this month.
All right.
And who's the opponent? The
Loves to Lore.
Loves to Lore. I just didn't know the icon. And I don't know if SLTC has picked their players yet for this round. Josh?
I don't even know the date.
Just say we don't talk about anything.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about ICL plans.
It'll be the 22nd, and a ping will go out. I'll be like, "Who wants to battle?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
very official stuff there.
That way.
That's also the CCS weekend.
Oh, is it?
Like the 22nd?
I think so, right?
Yeah, I'll be in Atlanta for that, and so then on the 24th we'll be.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Are you excited for that event, Color?
I mean, yeah. I'm excited. Flying down, I think Friday, and gonna meet up with like a bunch of the Maelstrom people, and then we're all staying at Kendall's house, so it should be a time.
Nice.
Nice.
It should be a time.
A time with people and cards.
You mean former Maelstrom player Kendall Byrne? Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Zemulus, and I was like, okay, and they're super amicable about everything, and like they're all still like family and everything. And I was like, well, I'm bitter about it. I wanted him to be on Maelstrom.
You know what? Let him know.
And I was like, so I'm just gonna like tiny vandalize his home. Like I'm just gonna take the toilet paper off and put it like the opposite direction, and I'm just gonna like take like a book and slide it over to where it's like
You're evil. The book thing is funny. The toilet paper thing, you're a monster.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like move some things around, not like not like a full revenge, but just like a teeny one.
Not like a kleptomaniac,
no,
just like to watch this episode until after.
I know, right? Just slight inconveniences all over his home. He's gonna be like, what the hell? Like,
shout out to Kendall. We know you're watching.
Color shows up and Kendall's like, sorry, we don't have room for you.
Yeah, right. Like, you can leave though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, he's like locked his toilet paper rolls and everything.
I know, right? He'd be like, stop, don't touch anything. I'd be like, all right, fine.
So now that the spots open up on Maelstrom, you gonna get your way in? Is that what you're
No.
CCS and then demand a spot on
demand a spot on there? I don't know, maybe. Probably not. I'll have just like, R&B yells at me enough anyway. Might as well. I'm just kidding.
That's half the job. So anybody else playing in any cool events coming up soon?
I have decided that I am a professional Lorcana spectator for the time being.
Congrats.
I get to watch Lorcana, eat some popcorn, and say, man, that card's broken. Man, that card's broken. Man, that card's broken. You'll say it like 15 times from the same deck, so it's actually a lot of fun.
And what color's that deck primarily?
Sapphire.
Yeah.
and played
Never heard of it.
steel or red cards, steel or ruby cards.
So you're not having fun so far into set 7, is what I'm hearing.
I just don't want to engage with it. I don't want to feel like I need to spend $70 on a crab and then do that 4 times and then and then spend $35 on a Scrooge or however much he is now and do that 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some Amber Steel believers out there. You don't believe?
Yeah. I would need to try the new builds, but I played against Dave's Amber Steel deck and he 7-0'd me.
Okay,
and
close.
That didn't feel very good.
Was that like with Bianca or?
No, that was like kind of an updated list of my Continentals deck, but
so kind of like shoes and the new Cindy.
No, it didn't have the shoes in it.
Is it
I was
just
playing
Penny?
I was playing Penny. I was playing Vanessa. I wasn't playing Troubadour. I think Troubadour is a little better. But it was kind of like a hybrid Steel Song aggro deck. It played a few Ariels. It played the Queen package. But I don't think the shifters are very good in a Bell meta. So it was definitely like a bad version of the deck, but also probably not so bad that it should have got 7-0'd by by a reasonable deck.
I get what you're saying.
I have a small Win-A-Box on Sunday that I'll be going to at my local LGS. So me and my local team, I guess you can call them, we've been prepping for that. As you can imagine, a lot of us are playing blue something.
Even you. Interesting.
No, I think I'm probably going to be playing a green steel discard list.
Nice.
I might be playing Josh's list. I haven't decided yet. Looks good.
Yeah, green steel has some really good disruptive cards.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the box.
Yep. I'm excited to see your polls from it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a case tournament this Saturday, so I don't know what I'm playing for that either. Maybe green steel, but man, I'm kind of bored. So
damn, I'm jealous.
Bored. I just want to let people know that Josh is currently. Are you 3-0 or 4-0?
I think I'm 5-0.
Oh, you've played that many matches. 5-0 with his green steel on the internal in-house list. So
1-0 in the Ink Geyser.
Taking names.
Wait, are you in
board of winning?
Are you in the pod?
I was to say, wait, hold on.
No, Color, I think we're in the same pod.
I should probably be playing games.
We should play some games soon.
No,
I mean,
no. Fumbles. We're in the pod together.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, Color's not in ours.
Gotcha.
I feel like my group's like the only one playing games at the moment, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
look at that.
spectating.
Josh,
I play games
5
every day
W's. Most played games in the entire thing.
That's awesome though. Good for you, man. It's really tough. Like we actually were talking about this earlier. So we were talking with Smitty and how he's like pretty disappointed that he's X3 right now.
Yep.
And then Dave had to explain to him, you do realize you're in a den of killers. Like losing to anybody in this is like not a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
It's all about learning. It's all about getting more experience. And like some of these blue steel lists, like I know it's literally the entire meta, but are not as intuitive as it seems. So like just even these reps against good players, like nobody's giving you the free bell, for example, or like, nobody's going to trade a free character for you. This isn't Lorcana where somebody sleeved up yellow purple and Puppy's deck or something. So
and also shout out to Smitty. He's our friend from New Zealand. He played in the Melbourne DLC and finished in the top 64.
Yeah.
So congrats to him.
I mean, the first internal tournament I did with SLTC, I mistakenly chose to play red-blue items, a list I wasn't very comfortable on, and I went like 0-2 drop, and then they changed the rules so that you can switch decks afterwards. So, and then the next one I got to the finals. So, sometimes things just line up better or not.
I mean, it's any tournament, right? I mean, we've all had a bad run at a tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And you just can't chalk it up to, I played bad. I picked the wrong list. Bumi has never had a bad run at a tournament. And maybe that's why he smiled there. But
I was gonna say, oh, we've all had a bad run at a tournament, and then I remember the two set champs that I did not earn a promo at.
There we go. He is human.
Wow, washed up.
Else?
Yeah, you're so washed up. Your mic or your camera.
You're a little blurry. Yeah.
Okay, I am blurry. I don't know what's going on with this.
I think are those my eyes or is it my camera? Where are we at?
Like leaned in. I all of a sudden aged and now
Just
things
put
are
your
blurry.
hand closer and then.
Adjust.
The other Ink Thieves is also having an internal tournament, which is
and you are a part of that too.
3 weeks or something long.
But, yeah, so the idea is I'm not playing in it, but I'm helping orchestrate it. The idea is that it's how many groups is there? 4 groups, 7 people per group. Everyone plays the best of 3 against each other. We gave everybody 3 weeks to do the best of 3s, but if everyone finishes earlier, then we'll just kick it to the knockout stage.
In-house tournaments are so interesting, right? Because like you are playing with people who you're sharing similar ideas with, but it's nice when it's bigger or you're bringing outside people in to test like random ideas. Like what Josh's list is probably not something I would see outside of like maybe that event. So it's interesting to see what some people do and how, just playing against random people from different areas too. Like some people match what their local meta is. So, you just have to be ready for kind of anything.
Well, yeah. And not to like, tip our hand too much on what the internal Ink Thieves chat is, but Superior Synergy Games played a match against, I don't remember who, but it was his first reps against like the new Blue Steel list, and he came into chat afterwards was like, "This is stupid," and we're like, "Yeah, it is. It kind of is sometimes."
Yeah. But he's a diehard blue purple player. Yep. He's also been doing really well. There is faith that blue purple is not dead.
Yeah.
I think overall his first complaint was popsicle. So I guess we could start there. How do we ban Sapphire cards? As the resident blue enjoyer, please don't do it.
Yeah, no. Please don't do it. I mean, it probably has to be popsicle, right? That's kind of like the linchpin around everything they get to do.
Everything in the deck centers around. The whole idea that you play an item on 1 and that you draw a card and you're still back at 6 cards. Yep. I think like everything revolves around that because you can ink because of that. You can play now Scrooges for free, Bells for free, things like that. And like Fortisphere at least has a condition to pop it.
Right.
And I think that alone makes it okay. But it's the whole idea that you're playing something for 1 cost and getting a card back. And that overall interaction is kind of insane in this game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's...
Yeah. I think popsicle is like... I don't know. I think there could be maybe unintended ramifications if you like completely get rid of popsicle. Like is blue is
even a color anymore?
Is a color being like held up by this tiny little thing. I personally think the card is too strong. It does like Rick was saying, it just does so much, and it enables a lot of things, and it's like it's not a good card in and of itself. Like if it were amber, it would be unplayable. But since it's sapphire, you don't have to play amber cards with it, and you get to play Hiram, and you get to play Bell, and you get to play Scrooge, and I mean they printed like 3 completely busted cards that are like completely busted because popsicle is a card.
Right, and that's what is what we're seeing is that there's enough now, and this, I'm not drawing an equal comparison to it, but back in set 4 when Diablo and Aladdin came out and got coupled with Bucky, it was like, okay, Bucky's been around for a few sets.
Right.
He did okay in set 2. Set 3 they did more of the
set 3 he was completely
Merfolk Flynn style. He wasn't really played much, but then like it was enough support around it, and then just took it off. And we're seeing, Popsicle and Hiram, strong combination, and then you have, big Tamatoa later. But now it's, like you said, the Bell, the Scrooge, the new Tamatoa. There's too much support around an already strong enough item.
Yeah, and like
that kind of like supports the the theory that there will be like a rotation at some point.
Yeah. And especially with this set coming out with, is it Unconventional Tool?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you can see them going, okay, maybe we do something different. You play like Monsieur, whatever his name is, on 1, then you play Tool on 2, and then you start doing different things and get different payoffs, but you're not just always flush with this hand-tripping craziness.
Yeah, and I mean, Hiram is a very strong card. You know, he's significantly worse when the items you have to sacrifice or you have to banish to him didn't replace themselves. You know, so you ask the red-blue players, and you know the difference between banishing like Vitalosphere with him and banishing Popsicle with him is a whole card. You know, if you play a Vitalosphere and then you play a Hiram, you're even on cards. You know, and then you have to activate. You have to quest with him and banish another item that didn't draw a card to be +1. And you
probably didn't want to get rid of Vitalosphere.
Right, yeah.
You probably wanted that for a Shark Enabler or something.
That's a nice utility item that you put in your deck as like sacrifice, you know, banish in case of emergency. You know, really you want to be banishing the Popsicles. But if you get 2 banishes on the Popsicles, you're +3 on cards. Where if you have to banish 2 non-Popsicle items, you're only +1. You know, so Hiram plus Quest when he's banishing 2 Popsicles is, you know, a Rapunzel worth of value for, in my opinion, a much easier thing to set up.
Yeah. And
so like, you know what you say, it's so interesting you say that too, because like when we look at playing Flaversham, right, it's an on play effect and you could activate it with a quest. And overall that part is insane, just the on play effect, right? But now if you think of it, you can do this for free on your next turn, and there is only really one color that can deal with that card with it not being exerted, being red cards. And I think like you were saying, the whole idea of plus cards, something like that I had to learn more so getting into this kind of card game, and the idea of the value behind drawing 4 cards, actually 6 cards, right? Because the 2 things you played probably drew a card. It's insane to think about, and your opponent is just at 3 cards and you're at 8. You know, like the whole idea that you're over them so heavily on card advantage is crazy.
Yeah,
like it feels broken until you just like don't find the pieces.
Right.
You're like, oh, this is so busted. I win this game. This is awesome. I already got 2. Like I found a Popsicle. I found a Hiram. I got my 2 cards. You brawled it. That's fine. But like I'm just sitting here with like a Hiram, like an asshole, you know, and just hanging out. And sometimes you have to pop a dime to draw 2 cards.
But sometimes you have a Hiram just sitting in play, and you draw a one cost draw 3. I'm sure.
And I feel like it was owed at that point. You know what I mean? He sat there for long enough.
You weren't owed at that point.
So where my deck waited
I navigated
to give me what I needed.
I navigated to the point where you had no resources except a Hiram in play, and then you drew an Ancestral Recall, and then you drew another Ancestral Recall, and then you drew Visions, and then you drew a Sisu and a B Prep, and
that's why they're in the deck, though, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think one thing that maybe was underestimated a little bit in the design of the game is just how powerful drawing cards actually is, and especially drawing cards in multiples. You know,
well, not in set 1. They were like, "You fools draw nothing."
Well, I mean, set one. I mean, the problem was expanded, right? Because only 2 colors could draw cards, and Friends was one of the best cards in the game then, just because of how good drawing cards is. But I think all of my TCG experience before Lorcana was Magic, and compared to that, you know, you have 60 real cards in your deck. You know, you're not drawing 3, and 2 of them are lands that you don't need at that stage of the game. You're drawing 3 action cards. You know, three cards that are gonna possibly impact the game in a meaningful way. Right. So
I have a question for you, because now I think Lorcana's kind of seen the idea of cards for free.
Yes.
Are cards for free a problem, or is it because of the way they're played for free that you're still able to get things in return? Like cards, for example. You're able to draw cards for doing cards for free.
Do you consider Bell for free, or do you consider like a song for free?
Bell is technically 2 cards minus 1 because you drew a card probably with Popsicle. But you have a body on board, right? Yeah. So, and you put something engraved now. So I'm trying to think, because people were talking earlier in a Discord I was in, that is cards being played for free a problem? Specifically Scrooge, Bell, and now Dime with the new Toa.
In a game that's built on a resource system, like paying ink to play cards, you know, that's a balancing tool. You know, if a card, you pay more resources for a more powerful effect, and getting to do anything for free kind of breaks that. And I think there are a lot of us who saw songs as a mechanic, you know, you just having to exert one character, and saying this is probably going to be a problematic design choice, even though you know all of the songs in set 1 and a lot of them in set 2 were absolute flavor slam dunks. Like they nailed what the songs did, and it's a really cool and a really thematic and flavorful mechanic. But you know, we have seen Cindy Let the Storm Rage On as the centerpiece of top tier decks since they have been released. You know, Whole New World has been a very strong card basically for the entirety of the game. And you know, a lot of that is getting to play it for free, not having to pay ink for it.
Yeah. So normally, like,
thank you for the insight, Bumi.
Are pretty usually pretty broken, and they also can be very scary. Especially in terms of like, it really depends on how free they are, right? Like you said, exerting a character is sort of a cost, and then banishing an item for Bell is sort of a cost. So it's not exactly free. Yeah. But they're also like Popsicle Bell, for example, it's essentially free, right?
It's
something like that is.
I think it's pretty close to free because the Popsicle replaces itself. That color you have
something interesting.
Yeah. The downside is, I'm missing an item now. It's like
something interesting I was going to call out, by the way, is that popping a Popsicle with Bell is actually like quite a skill intensive thing when you think of card economy and do you need that item? Because one thing I've ran into a lot in my blue steel testing is that you could easily run out of cards or run out of resources because you broke that item, or ink in general. Like sometimes Bell is just needed for ink instead of being played as a body.
Yeah, that happened to us in a game Fumbles where you belled on either like 1 or 2, and that was the only item you saw. 20 something cards deep or something.
Yep.
No. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking as well. It was like the free cards, like, there's like this, you know, with Bell specifically is like, there is a cost, but like you can't just like, hooray, like I just like put 2 bells on there and like it's turn whatever and it's like fine. It's like, okay, cool. How many cards do you have left in your hand?
Yeah.
How are you going to draw cards? Like, what's your backup plan?
So in terms of that, what about Scrooge though? Now Scrooge is a bit more of a problem because
he's so hard to set up.
Replaces himself though. Ooh. So just wait until we get more items to run, right? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, like, so Scrooge is very hard to play on turn 3. You know, like, but even just going like Popsicle, Sail, Popsicle, and play Scrooge. You know, play a Scrooge for ink on turn 3. Like that's fine. You know, but then later, once your deck is like humming along, you just get to put 4/4s. Like you get to exert 4 items to put a 4/4 that replaces itself onto the table, and then you can use those exerted items to crack them for Bell, and then you get a free 3/3, and then you know
if I haven't inked all my Scrooges up until that point because I couldn't get 4 items on the board.
Well, you play the Scrooges. You play them for ink, and then they enable the future Scrooges.
So
the future generation of Scrooge.
Yeah, the future Scrooge.
Dewey and Louie.
Yeah, right. You hardcast now, so we get the payoff later.
Right, exactly.
No, I don't. I want to.
So one thing to look out for, color, is pay attention to when you play your Tamatoa, for example. Like, say you pay 6-cost Tamatoa. That next turn, you could have item, and just pay attention to what you can play, because playing a Scrooge for free the next turn after you got those items back is really insane for protecting your Toa as well.
Yeah.
And not to mention Strength of a Raging Fire with free characters is actually kind of insane. Like, I had a turn today earlier. I played a Scrooge for free. I played 2 Bells for free after playing the Scrooge, and then I was able to Strength for 3 to kill something. You know,
That's that Amber life you're living there.
yeah.
Yeah, Blue Steel is actually just Amber Steel.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Like, I think there is a world that exists where free, something being free isn't inherently bad. Like, Mufasa can put a character into free, but it's tempered by randomness. But it kind of depends on like what you get for the investment. And for Bell, especially when you're banishing a Popsicle or a Fortisphere, you're only down the card that it takes from your hand to get Bell into play. You end turn 1 with 5 cards in hand and a 3/3 Singer 3 in play. Dave had suggested, they probably should have given her the text of, this character can't sing songs. Mm-hmm. And I think that would have gone a long way. I think that would have gone a long way to making her a somewhat balanced card. But also think about like how big characters are that come out in turns, 1, 2, and 3. Like, she can rumble with almost anything. Right? Like,
yeah, that was like a couple games. I felt like they were like Bell on turn 1 and then like another card. I was like, cool, Hiram turn 3. Turn 4, I quest with Hiram, and they were like, cool, I'll take my 2 things and then run it in. And I was like, well, he's dead now. And I was like, Blue Steel can't kill Hiram.
Right, yeah.
They can't. This isn't a thing. It's like, he lives forever. No, he doesn't. Thanks, Bill. Yeah. Like,
he gets challenged down now.
Yep.
Yeah, but also like, Bell by herself, I think, is going to be a very heavily misplayed card, because if you are playing against a deck that doesn't care about you having a 3/3/1, maybe you're probably better off staving her for ink and keeping your item on board.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to lose games because they put Bell into play on turn 1.
Like, if you're like on the play, you throw a Bell down, and then you're like in a mirror match or another slower.
Yeah.
Like, it's a slower deck that you can develop,
not even slow.
Instead
maybe you don't have a different Popsicle and you don't have Hiram.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like,
that kind of seems like not the thing to do. Yeah. You're like, hooray, I have a Bell on board. And it's like, oh, cool.
Well, what if you have like a Bell Storm, right? So you're like, all right, I'm doing this, plan for it, I'm gonna crack it, and next turn I can Storm, and then you just are looking at like, all right, now I have like Quill, Dime, Tomato or something. It's like, I
mean, I guess like then at that point it was like, was that the best line? Honestly,
right. And that's what Bumi's alluding to, is like, some people are gonna see people talk about
like the shiny new toy, and it's like, and then it's like,
this is new Cindy, but it's like not.
Who was it that like was like to the screenshot? And it was like they were 3 ink, and they had like 3 of those 2-cost items. The Sapphire Coil, they had like 3 ink, like 3 Sapphire Coils and an ice block, and then like that was it. And, like, it was like turn 6 or something like that.
I think Sailor faced someone on Lorcana.
Oh yeah.
Who was doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he's like, I have no idea what the game plan is, and they had like 1 card in hand.
Yeah, 1 card in hand, like, and they had like 3 ink, and that was it, right?
Yeah, because they were like
ice block and then
their own
3
coils or something.
Yeah, and ice block, 3 coils, 1 card, 3 ink. I was like, okay.
Sailor was like, I'm pretty sure like 8 ink or more at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he was like, it was turn 6 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I was playing on there earlier, and it was like DKP's list, and they were like, Oswald, and I was like, all right, cool. And they were like, whiff with Oswald 6 times. I was like, okay, that's good. And then it's just kind of like, I was like, I don't know what your hand is, but what you're doing is bad. So So these blue cards, like, yeah, they're very, very strong, but like there is like a high kind of skill ceiling for like a lot of this stuff and a lot of these lines, which everybody's going to figure out eventually. But like right out the gate, it's going to take a minute.
Yeah, it's one of the, I think, not first few, but one of the more prominent decks that really require good sequencing and will punish you for not having it.
Yeah,
like knowing how to like when to ink and when to trigger workshop and which order to do it and when to quest with Hiram and
or when to even get workshop out and not cry about it. Yeah.
Like if you sequence it wrong, like it can punish you heavily.
Yeah. I saw Fumbles. You were playing a game. you're like, ink this, play this. No, wait, hold on. Like immediately pick up all your cards and like you're like, okay, hold on, this now this, and like that, like just making sure that workshop triggers like properly as opposed to just like zero cards in hand.
I would say in terms of sequencing, it's probably never been harder for a blue deck, right? There's a lot of things to consider. That being said, it's not also that difficult to figure it out as well. But, we're all still getting reps of when to Scrooge, when to play Bell, things like that. I would like to think that SSG was like a pretty big event, and that showed us like a lot of cool ideas, specifically Zan and his crew. They had like the Oswald list that was pretty insane. So I think like I can't play Oswald. I'm very unlucky. I will never play Oswald competitively. So
or
what
workshop,
do you guys think
right?
about that?
You're kind of a staunch workshop.
Disliker,
not hater, disliker
card. So the card is great, and it's much better in specifically like the John Williams version. So if you're playing red blue, I like the idea of playing unconventional tool, breaking it, and then paying 1 for workshop. If you ever pay 3 for the full cost of workshop and then decide to then play an item and then pay 1 to also draw a card, it's really not that great, right? Workshop's really good when you could cheat it out.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And speaking of Oswald and Workshop, I think that's a good segment. We can transition over to talk about the SSG 10 case that happened, where a Workshop Oswald list took the top spot.
Yeah. There was also the first big tournament, right, of Set 7. So it's always nice to see what comes out on top as well, right?
Yeah. It's hard to make definitive conclusions from the day one tournament because maybe some people, were just trying new things out. Maybe some people were playing their set 6 decks, but, we did see this list from Zan and Jeremy, and I think their friend Ryan played it as well, and he was a match off of top 8, I want to say.
Okay.
I don't know. Where do you like? I think we've talked about Oswald a little bit now, but like, man, I've seen too many times where playing Oswald on 2 just feels like not the right play. Like you're gambling so hard already, but like I'd rather play Chicha in this kind of scenario, and I like more consistency, right? I'd rather get a guaranteed card in my hand, and I say guaranteed, but like in quotes, but I'd rather play something like that, and to only have 2 TPOs and like no sales. Oh man, you're just like I can't imagine a world where you don't ramp on 2 right now.
So I mean that was like the thing, right? Is like if you picked Chicha, then you are going for consistency. If you go with Oswald, then like you said, I think Fumbles, it was you. You were like, you're just committing to the high roll. Like I am gonna do the thing, and if I do the thing, the game is mine. And if I don't do the thing, I watch all the best cards that in my deck go to the bottom of my deck.
And I know that some of the players, because this was not the only event that a list like this was run. Zan's list was run at other events as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard feedback from some of them saying that, oh, my Oswalds were hitting not at all. But the deck was doing very well just because this is a solid core. Anyways, even without that Oswald hit, which is pretty crazy to think that just landing Workshop and just going with all these items and just kind of ramping and stuff, and is that little Oswald guy is not even needed.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it does feel like a good list, like a good solid like blue steel list, and then Oswald was just kind of like crammed in there, just like just for a little sparkle, a little something,
Yeah.
just a treat. Just an Oswald for a treat.
Feels okay.
Yeah.
I forgot, someone said it, but they were comparing Oswald basically to Flynn, where sometimes he just does the high roll stuff, and sometimes he just wins the game by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is what he does sometimes.
Comparison. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and that's we kind of saw that on stream, right? Like Zan had a Oswald in play, He put 4 or 5 good cards on the bottom of his deck, and and we all had a chuckle. It's like, oh, that's why you don't play Oswald. And then in the finals in Game 3 against Jonathan Williams, Jeremy played Oswald on turn 2, put one item into play on turn 3. Jonathan Williams answered the Oswald the next turn, but the one item just kind of snowballed the game out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I like that comparison to Flynn. If Flynn sits there unchecked, you lose the game in a couple turns, and it's like Oswald. If Oswald hits, then that's fine. But, yeah. I mean, it's just, Flynn is inkable.
Yeah. The other interesting list was Jonathan Williams' red-blue list.
And red-blue items.
Yeah, red-blue items with the wonderful bell.
Oh, the big bell?
Big bell, yeah.
The big bell.
I tested a list like that with the big bell, and when it went off, it went off.
Josh, pull it up.
Whew.
I got. Hold on.
We're holding.
Like, everybody's like, I think Big Bell's a trap. I'm like, Big Bell is
I mean, I thought Big Bell was a trap. I was telling locals it's not going to be played, and I'm already eating my words 1 weekend in.
So
yeah, does it have the unconventional tool? Yes. Yeah, this was
Have you guys played this or played against it?
No, I have
I
not.
played this. Yes.
Okay, I have played this list, and I think it's phenomenal. The only difference I would change now from it, looking at it, is that I would rather have 2 hideaways, because we're dealing with a very heavy blue meta. Okay. Besides that point, this is so good. The big bell is always shifted on at 4 ink. You're only spending 4 for her. So when you look at it, right, there's going to be a lot of items in your discard pile. And you have to be careful with how you weave Toa, Scrooge, and all the above. But this is my favorite version of red-blue items when it comes to it. But it's so hard to get good value out of the unconventional tool. It's weird because it's 1 dime, but you're playing an items deck. But it's so strong early game, and it's the best coil list I've played.
Really? It's the best coil list without Medusas? That's interesting.
So when I say best coil list, what I'm saying is it's the best feeling coil. To play coils. Playing coil on 2 never feels good. But when you play coil on 2 after breaking an unconventional tool with Bell, and then play 2 popsicles, cheating out unconventional tool for free is where I'm at. I never want to pay 2 for this card again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, this list is really fun, and I mean, and this is another one too. I think I played myself a couple times with it, where I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna play unconventional tool. I'm gonna pop it with Bell. I'm gonna have this, and I have 0 cards in hand. I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? You can really mess yourself up with this deck really hard.
For sure.
But it's so fun, and then by the time you do finally shift Bell, you're like, this is stupid. I mean, obviously, there's probably optimized lines that you should be taking, but goofing around with this list was super fun.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anybody else have thoughts on this list? I think it's good. I think this is if I'm playing red-blue items, this is where I'm going, at least to start to build a list.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be seeing this on Sunday, because I know that some of my locals like the look of it, and then have already started practicing it, and then saying, "Oh, this is a lot of fun."
I have to say it's fun. It would take me a couple more reps to be oh, okay, this is how this deck should be played, but it's super fun.
Yeah, I think Workshop's a little better in this deck because you have cards to catch up, you have Be Prepared, and you have Big Sisu. So you can afford a little bit more to play a 3-cost do nothing, or you can play unconventional tool on turn 1. Banish it with Bell on turn 2, and then play the Workshop, and then it's set up.
Or Quill.
Or Quill.
Yeah,
or
that
Quill.
Was another thing, yeah. I think it was 1 game I drew 3 unconventional tools, and I was super angry about it. And then so it was turn 1, fine. Turn 2, okay, fine. And then another turn I drew a Bell and a Hiram and something else. And so then I was just oh, let me just here's...
All right, Josh, take over, man.
Oh, what? Yeah, this is the animal deck. Yep.
Would we consider this a zoo deck? Because it kind of feels like one.
Whoa, Lady does not belong in a zoo. How dare you?
I think zoo means different things across different TCGs.
Yeah, it does. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Wait, what are the meanings? Hold on. Wait.
Like
what?
for me, typically I got zoo from Hearthstone, but I know it's from like Magic too, right?
Yeah.
So
I just assumed there were animals in a deck, and that's what made it zoo.
That's what it was originally.
Zoo's typically like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the zoo in Magic, the zoo deck originally had Curd Ape, which is a gorilla, and Savannah Lions.
Gotcha.
You know, and you know, it played aggressive animal cards.
And in Hearthstone, zoo deck was typically like associated with like Warlock, aggro, go wide.
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Well,
just because there is just a lot of
you're
demons.
throwing all the beasts on the board.
Yeah, they were demons, I guess. Yeah.
Demon zoo.
Yeah,
demons. I would go to a demon zoo.
Yeah, see? There you go.
I played Bumi against a list
ethical,
similar to this,
humane
and it destroyed me.
I think this color pairing in this style has a lot of potential for this set, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I particularly like this style because I want to get a Chernobog out really quick, and that's really cool. Also, Dale is very good. I think Dale is fantastic in this.
That Joseph just played in the ICL tonight?
Similar.
So Pandemonium Heart's probably on more of a mid-range list that he likes with Greta and Under the Sea.
Yeah. Yes. And he had Just in Time as well.
Zero to Hero.
Zero to Hero, sorry.
He played the good card.
Yeah, he's been working on that archetype for about 2 to 3 sets as well, kind of like revisits it now and then to see if it'll work. I think it got a good amount of tools this set.
Him and Diego both love this deck.
Yeah.
Tramp is a very, very strong card.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had been playing. Ricky said I've been playing a deck similar to this, you know. And once you get like the Tramp train rolling, it's kind of nuts.
Tramp train.
It's all aboard the Tramp train. Well, you can just like.
Sorry. I'm an adult. I got this. Hold on.
Yeah, Tramp. What are you thinking about?
If you can swarm enough. If you can swarm enough.
I'm sorry.
Tramp not for all your resources, and then keep like a Chernobog and a Rapunzel in hand.
Yeah.
While having like 5 characters plus Tramp on board. You can do that pretty early too. That's like maybe like a turn 5 play.
Yeah, I mean, even just playing Tramp on curve, he's a 2/6/2 for 4, or for you can play him for 4 on turn 4, and kind of
and like
set up
how
your
does
hand.
Blue Steel kill that, man?
They crash 2 bells into him, and both the bells live.
Yep. But it has to be exerted, right?
Yeah.
You're getting that 2 lore almost guaranteed.
Oh yeah, he's going for 2 lore. One thing that I was struggling with when I was playing a deck like this is like keeping cards in your hand so you can have what you want after you've drawn 6 cards and discarded 6 cards. Because if you start with 1 card in your hand and you draw 6 and discard 6, it's like, okay, pick the best one. But if you start with, you know, two or three 0/4s for 1 that are at that stage of the game, and then you draw 6 cards, and then you discard 2 or 3 0/4s. You know, then you get to keep, you know, 2 or 3 cards that are actually going to be really good.
Yeah, and that's why I might find it hard to not play Clarabelle in a list like this.
Right.
So you can, you know, push your board out and then Clarabelle to refill. But
I think in terms of green decks, though, Clarabelle just feels like very solid right now. Not only like Blue Steel is just drawing a ton of cards, so you have that going for you, but like also the 1 cost is just good item break in a deck that like, oh, I have 2 floating ink, let me just throw it down and then let me break the coil. That would probably give me issues. You know?
One thing that I've seen that's really cool with a Tramp deck is you play, you know, you set up your board. Maybe you play a 3 cost, or you play like a Cinderella or a Vanessa on turn 1 or 2, and then you play Tramp on turn 4, and then sing Bippity Boppity Boo, put the Tramp back in your hand, and put in Clarabelle. Now you have, you know, now that Clarabelle is probably going to draw you a couple cards.
This is awesome. I love this list.
This
And
is
this is
level
also,
two.
again,
Never
you
wanna
know,
verse
Okay.
it.
Diego, level, 9001. This is his LCCC
Yeah.
Yeah.
version. I think the card I like the most in this, frankly,
Hey,
is
hey.
this guy right here.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
I mean, with all the blue running around, you're probably even on the draw or on player draw either way. You're probably behind.
Right.
You just
I
you
almost
could
got
play
got
this
by
guy.
Hey Hey in set champs a couple sets ago when I was playing Ruby Sapphire, and she just goes, "Hey Hey," and I was like, "What? Like, what?"
Yeah.
And then the next turn, she just untap and just floods it, and I was like, "Ha ha!"
And like, what's killing this?
Yeah.
What-
That guy's a
I
that is a
mean,
big boy.
does he have a ward?
If you're
Nope.
ripping a Zeus for that thing, Lord help you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
And I
what are
have
we
done that.
doing?
I have Zeused it to then swing into like, I don't know, the
You-
piglet
yeah,
or something.
You better be getting their whole board when you Zeus a
Yeah.
two drop.
right.
But-
I think he's onto something. I think this card is insane.
Yeah.
It's 2 cost. The only headache is that it's uninkable. But look, you have no other uninkables. You have 8 of them are 1-drops. Chernobog you could practically play for free.
Yeah.
You only have 2 ladies. So if you're running 12, 14 uninkables and 16 if we count the bogs. Yeah, I don't know. It's not that bad.
And I don't
So
really
how
count. I don't really
fast-
count those either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't count those either.
And those cards, like cards that cost 1 and are uninkable, are so much different than cards that cost 4, 5, or 6.
Or 10.
Or 10.
Yeah, or 10.
How fast is this deck?
It looks very
I mean-
fast.
What does
It's
it
quick.
say?
Like
It's quick.
you can have the Daisy, you can have the triple requester
yes.
open a lot more consistently with this one.
You're
Yeah, 'cause-
almost never missing 111. And I think that's important right now.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
Or one piglet, a 1/2 or something.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I don't know about all of you, but I love 60 character piles. This is so exciting. It's like you just know every turn you are gonna draw and play characters.
This to me is like the opposite of things I enjoy.
I know. I'm looking at this board and I'm going, I feel like just a Sisu.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm like, please.
Right.
Like, let me shift a Sisu onto that card
All of it.
and that card
Destroy it.
and that
Burn.
card and that card.
Scorched
Yeah.
earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, but that's
The
what
raw joy that I get from casting that card
but
is
that's
just
what
in
Kitty,
this deck.
Kit's gonna prevent the human from sticking too long.
Yeah.
So you
Still took
mean,
some
I don't-
either.
yeah,
but then you're
but you
talking,
have 3 characters on board. They all go for 2 or something.
Cricky doesn't
What about
persist
Cricky?
until your next turn, right? He doesn't persist with the
No,
opponent's
it's just
turn.
that turn it's played.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
That'd be busted.
Cricky would be broken if that was
But
the case.
Cricky's so important for a deck like this because like you're just throwing a bunch of weenies out there and like imagine you have like the princes down and you just like Cricky that and it's now what a
3/5.
3/5?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Kill
gross.
2 bells.
Two bells.
Move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rapunzel
And
the
you're
next
a
turn.
bodyguard.
Next turn.
Yep.
Oh my.
That's pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Okay.
Or you Cricky hit something that they're not going to do anything with, like your guy dies, like into a big Tamatoa.
Mhm.
You got Go-Go.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Lady
And
getting
Cricky questing
back
for 3 is just
Go-Go is
crazy.
like kind of like what are you gonna do? Are you gonna challenge my lady with your 5 health guy when you know I
Well,
have Go-Go in my hand?
So that's what happened to me. I was playing a JDRR built purple steel list we were currently testing out the Shift Robin Hood line because Robin Hood traditionally is pretty good into blue steel. And my opponent was playing a list similar to this, and he played like Merfolk and Piglet and just kind of like played a whole bunch of little guys. And then turn 5 and on, he just kept playing Lady, getting those back, and then playing them again. And I'm like, okay, I know I have purple, but I'm sending my guys into your Merfolk. I don't have that much spell removal, so I'm just losing my hand, and I couldn't do it on the draw.
Yeah. Lady is a very strong card.
Yeah, there's only so much removal somebody can play to unexerted cards.
Yeah.
So speaking of deck lists, though, You want to move to talk about the LCC?
Yeah, so this is a one LCC list. So we're gonna move into a segment now called Color Reacts to LCCC lists. And Color, can you confirm? Have you seen any of the other ones so far?
So I haven't seen any of them. I did watch a little bit of which game was it? The red purple one with LD
versus LD.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched that one.
All right. Well, then let's look at that list because I don't know if you saw.
It's wacky, Domingo's list.
The whole thing
Don't bias her.
Oh.
Don't
no!
say
Oh
it's
no! Well, okay. So okay.
It's different.
So I was okay. So I was watching the game, and I did see the Donald, which I highly respect that, and I have nothing bad to say about Kingdom Hearts Donald. So what it ended up happening? Like he.
Oh, you're talking about the game one finish?
Yeah, the game one. Like he had the McDuck. He was at 18.
Yeah,
he was technically decked out.
For those who don't know, this is this list wants to control you and mill you. Domingo
the giant
was playing against LD and got him to 0 cards, but LD had a manor in play and was at 18 lore, so LD won on his turn before decking out. I believe that there was a misunderstanding on the timing of it, but like if he had like played like Donald Duck, if he had him and just pushed that threshold up to 25, and then he can't the manor's only giving him 2, only going to 20, and then just decks out, that would have been crazy.
Well, I don't think he had the resources to like get rid of the rest of LD's cards and play Donald. But he could have. Right. He could have played Donald.
It was a choice of whether to get to the decking phase or Donald. Okay. Yeah.
So, it was R&B and then Zenulus and I at the very beginning of this set. We were like, we are making a mill deck, and it was Fumbles is shaking his head because he totally. So we did Amethyst Steel, and we had like long conversations about it, and I mean we were basically playing this deck and like feeling like it was a real thing, and then I was like, Fumbles, please let me test this deck with you on TTS. First of all, TTS just completely crapped out, and like our cards were floating. It was awful. Somehow we made it through this game, and the deck wasn't real, and it was awful. But all he had to do was know that I was playing a mill deck and just play like 87 manors, and I was like, yeah. And I remember when we were building the deck, I kept telling Ryan, I was like, put Donald in it. And he was like, absolutely not. And I was like, please put Donald in. He's like, I'm not putting that card in there. It's a bad card. I'm not putting that in there. And I was like, please put it in there. And so as a joke, there is a one of Donald. So seeing this list, it makes me really happy because there he is. There's my boy.
Yeah.
Earth Giant was so bad, it got cut immediately. Mad Hatter never made it in the deck.
Earth Giant is so big for its cost, but giving your opponent a card is just so terrible.
Well, it was fine in the mill deck because you're like, I'm just gonna get like that's the reach that I need. Like sometimes because we had wheel in it, so you'd wheel and then you're like, I just need like a couple more, just like a little bit more reach, but like the card was so bad. Like
just
line,
one little hit, just one little draw card,
just a little boop, just to get you there. But it was so rough. Like a Very Merry on Birthday, that card was amazing.
Yeah,
but we used the 2-cost broom and we were like recurring it. So like you're shuffling all that crap back into your deck, and so like you would wheel and then you just get like 2 Very Merry on Birthdays, and you're like, cool, I'm going to cast one, sing one, and, you're dead.
And as one of the other resident mill enjoyers, Josh, what are your thoughts on this list?
Yeah.
It's all right.
The Teapot didn't make it into the final.
And
the Chromacon, they just don't draw with Chromacon.
Yeah, that's the rough part. Is once they know it's mill, it's like a whole different game, right?
Yeah, they're like inking Hirams and like I don't care, and you're just like, that's fine. Why don't you draw a card? You're like, no,
they're declining your Chromacon.
Yeah, I will.
Show Me More is
I miss Yzma.
Amazing. Yeah, Yzma. Yes.
So
because that card
the
is
first thing I'm looking
great.
at here is like, I don't know if, do you need the bounce packages? Do you need like crab for this kind of list? Or like, I feel like
I guess it's the control aspect, right? But
Sure.
like,
but that's what you have, the Medusas and the Tremaines and then
Well,
the Brawls.
Yeah, but you
we lose
can't-
the early game
yeah,
to get
you
that
can't
point,
wait,
I guess.
You can't wait until
just
turns
cut 'em.
like 5 and 6 to start interacting.
Sure.
Yeah, and I was playing like what was it? Amethyst Steel. So like my control factor was just like the songs. So just eat your stuff and try to get a singer on board to wheel, and just keep churning through the deck.
Right.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like the bounce stuff much. Like maybe Fox is okay, but I don't think you need Snake or Crab. I mean, I play like 2-cost Gaston. He's just good. I also made room for Prince Eric, the 4-cost one that just banishes a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. There's like a lot of different tech cards too. Like Scar as well is pretty good as well. The 7-cost Scar.
Yeah, Scar is good.
It's one of my favorite cards in red.
What about that Mad Hatter? Just like
Dude,
just-
I don't know what that
Mad
card
Hatter
does.
survives.
just
He's mad.
When you quest Bumi, you could look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and you could choose to discard it or leave it on top, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep, that is correct.
so you just do that. You pay 1 ink, and
you
you do
just
that one
discard it.
time, and then
And
it's
Mad
dead.
Hatter's Teapot does something similar.
You have to pay
Yeah, Mad
one,
Hatter's Teapot is just
and
mill
it
one.
taps.
Yep.
So before you even get any value out of it, you've paid 3 ink.
That card
To mill
costs,
one card.
That card costs 2.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and can you imagine Popsicle is a play 1 and it's free to turn sideways. I hate it here.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I got a
like, if that
million,
was like
I
a
got a
tap,
million
but-
mill builds. Oswald milled is the future.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But Show Me
That's
More
such
is
a-
actually a pretty good card.
I
especially for
loved
its
that
control.
card on yeah, that was good. Like turn 1, like whatever, turn 2 that, turn 3, like I was like running shift packages too. So like turn 1 Robin Hood, turn 2 that, get the shift. Okay, finally whole new world. Okay, that's it. And by that time they're like, "Oh my god, they have like so many cards in their hand." And then you wheel them the first time and it's like, and then it never happens again. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right, let's
So-
look at a new list.
All right, this is by our boy Ed. It's a very classic Ed list in that it's a clean.
But there's set
15
7
by
cards in
4.
here.
That is a great question.
He just copy paste from set 6.
I'm pretty sure I played this.
Is
like,
Visions
2 sets
from?
ago.
I was about to say, like, what card is
Visions
from
is set
we
5.
got Maui at least.
5?
Maui
Set
Shark
six.
is set
We're
6.
6. Okay,
Yeah.
Shark. Okay,
Shark.
okay,
Yeah.
Shark.
Uh,
My
And-
man
and
is living in the.
Sales 6 as
And
well,
I
right?
love
Sales
Ed's
6,
yeah.
4 ofs. Like, if Ed ever says I'm playing 4 of a card, I believe him now. I don't care what it is.
If Ed
For
if
real.
Ed puts a card in his deck, like 90, there's like a 97% chance it's a 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ed takes the 15 best cards in the color and puts them in the deck.
Yeah, I mean,
He's just like-
the Inkdex layout doesn't do it justice because Eds are just clean 2-liners, as we call them.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Scar
Carl, what are you
is
changing in this list?
What am I changing?
Yeah, what's the problem with it?
You got too many new cards. You got to take out Shark and Sail.
Right? Yeah. We gotta
Yeah.
throw it back a little
It's
bit
too
more.
many new cards, yeah.
I need
too-
you to
it's too
criticize NA champion.
I am not criticizing. Like, so I'm saying, if Ed says that there are 4 dimes that belong in a list, I'm just gonna believe him from now on. That's it. Like, I don't care. I just like whatever.
I mean, he was
You
saying
guys would be
that
like,
about
he's
Blue
trolling.
Steel, right?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing about this list? Mine's the 4 preps.
Scars. Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, no, that's hilarious.
It's a Scar.
Yeah.
It's a scar.
For,
My man threw 4 scars in there and called it a day. I love it. No notes.
Ed's gonna cook people with this. Just watch.
For sure.
Absolutely. I mean, the 4 powers like 4 people. Well, because I mean, I feel like with the manners, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that man
What's
loves
crazy
to protect
me
his
is
locations.
Fishbone Quill in this list, though.
What?
Well, there's no.
Fishbone Quill's kind of crazy because, like, there's playing.
What's the
Quill
uninkable
in a
count,
non-
though?
Oh, it's
12.
what? 12? Is it?
Yeah, just
And
12.
4 of them are how far I'll go.
Oh, 4. Yeah, how far I'll go is like uninkable light.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this list is insanely good. I love it. Quill is insane because so Ed really likes Quill, but you never really played Quill in Shark decks because you always wanted to go 2, 4, 5, right? You never really wanted to take a turn off to play Quill. And so it's just a good backup though, but it's also it's easy ink. It's the easiest ink you could ever have as well.
Yeah.
He's just throwing his lands in his deck for fun.
Sure.
Yeah. It'll unbreak his hand.
I mean, this is like Popsicle, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Just
just
more hero food.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, he would just end up having what other inkable in this color would you really want to put in there?
I'd say if Fishbone was develop your brain, it would look a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, then you'd never draw anything off of Hiram ever.
Well, think of it this way, though, Color.
I mean, that's what DKP's been doing, right?
You're not having that many cards in hand to ink with Quill. That's part of the problem.
Sometimes it's just pay 3, quest with Hiram, draw 2.
Hit once, right?
It's the same draw package as all the other red-blue decks that played Quill before.
Sure. Yep. But
if you don't have the resources for Quill, don't play it.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I love this list for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so retro.
It's so retro.
It's so retro. He's hit ramp on 2 or 3.
It's
whatever.
So,
I got
so
options. Yeah.
All right, next up.
We love Mulan. We love it. What? I was gonna go right to let, and then my eyes just drifted down to the Enchanted. That's just hanging out under Mulan.
Wait a second, that's not a Tamatoa.
Let me.
How do we build this without the
Gris? What is this?
The special.
I believe
Oswald.
This is
French.
Theotime's list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, what? Cool.
Yeah, no Tamatoas.
The actual lore gain in this deck is very light.
How are we triggering Nana?
You
so
put characters on board.
Quill...
They kill them, and then you Greatstone Dragon them away to get Grammatala value.
Tala there. Oops, with the dragon. Okay, so but what do you? So there's so. What are you feeding the Great Stone Dragon? Just a bunch of Mulans and all of your dead Oswalds that baby whiffed. Hold on. Well, hold on. 4, 8,
16, 20, 22, 26 items.
I mean, that's shit. Oswald's got to do something now, right?
The weird thing for me is the Imperial bows. She's
a hero.
There's
Belle
she's not, but it's Mulan, Oswald, Belle. That's it.
Scrooge is a hero.
Wait, Scrooge is a hero.
Scrooge is a hero, yeah.
Okay, never mind. I take it back. Scrooge being a hero makes
Hero
it a little
Scrooge
bit better.
is insane, actually.
I mean, there's only 2, and honestly, it's fine. Well, because the amount of times, so I had Mulan, and the amount of times that that was, oh no, because I had Penny in the deck,
the orphan,
and I was I don't know, yeah, no, the blue one, right? Yeah. The orphan.
Penny the orphan, yeah.
And
clever child.
Yeah, and so she has Warlord with the heroes, right?
Yep.
And so that actually was relevant quite a bit with Belle and Mulan in the deck. So I mean, I can see how Bo would be active quite a bit.
I mean, this has to be establish Workshop, establish Quill, put Tala out, and you're just maybe trying to Greystone Dragon, Quill, and something else. You ink 3 times a turn and you just draw a bunch of cards.
Probably.
Wait, what isn't Tala you gain a lore for every time you ink?
Yep.
So your early game is just spam Mulan, Oswald, crap out items.
Yeah, probably get a board of 3/3s and 4/4s set up. Land Tala and just start churning with ink.
What you want with this deck, right? The thing I'm seeing is that you want a ton of cards in your hand, and you just want to ink all of them as much as possible. You want your Oswald to hit a free Quill, free GSD, and that way, when you finally play Tala, you could ink 4 times in that turn, and hopefully that puts you over the hump.
Yep.
Play Tala win is what you want, honestly.
Yeah, I mean Tala is your win con.
I'm just disappointed there isn't a hey in here, or
6-cost Toa.
the All Is Found, or just other ink.
Yeah, just
ways
to like turbo Tala.
Yeah.
Right now you get ink plus number of.
What's the one where it's like you both ink the top 3?
Friend like
the genie one.
Oh, friend like me.
Yeah. Like something like that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe that was too gimmicky. You know what I mean?
More
We're trying to win games
cheeky,
here, right?
Yeah, you're right.
We're trying to win out here.
They're trying to win, like not trying to put like bad cards in our deck. It's crazy. I don't know. I want to see this work. I want to see how this runs.
In action.
For sure. This seems like fascinating.
Well, how about this next one though? By Mo Shamblin. Who is just a straight vibes person, and I love watching him play.
Same. Man. So
I love Baymax so much though. Like that card, I just love him, and like him shifting on, and then what's he singing? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I've seen this actually a lot on Lorcana lately. This exact list.
Yeah, and it has not been
playing Geyser, playing Pete.
Mm-hmm. I think I was playing against this deck earlier, and I actually took a photo.
Did you have fun with it?
I mean,
I was playing against the deck. Hold on, let me show you the photo.
Yeah, but did you have fun?
You go. Pete,
I had so much fun.
You go, Pete, Tipo, put something you want back in your inkwell. Turn 3, you Geyser away to like ruin the blue ramp that just happened, and then Pete destroys their quill so they can't ramp back up quickly.
It doesn't matter.
Bada boom.
Here, I sent you a photo of what happened when I played this deck.
Something that like
I can also put the photo up here. I'll put it up.
Did you? I sent it in the contact discussion, so if you could see.
If we're not playing like Under the Sea here, I feel like what are we doing? Because like we're playing coils, and the whole idea is we have these 16 songs for muses. I would love for this to work out the way I envision it, but for me so far, all blue-green testing has been like just miserable. Like one bell like feels like it owns this deck, but I've seen this absolutely destroy blue-green or blue steel. So I mean, maybe there's something there with blue-green.
I think this deck is a protect the manor list. Like this iteration of blue-green specifically.
Mm-hmm.
It's
your win con.
It's a lot of like, let's bounce things back. Let's restrict my opponent's ability to attack the manor with Ink Geyser. Kill their dimes to delay their turns, or whatever items you want to kill with Pete.
So I don't know if you saw it, Josh. I sent the photo into the content discussion.
It's a interesting board state.
I did win that. If you were
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Huh. So I don't know. Me and TJ both agree that like Geyser just feels like it's not it. Like you could have Bend in your deck as a 4 of, and you would just play it once, and that would still feel better than the zoom in.
What is his hand? He just keeps going.
Oh, but hey, it was 61 degrees out. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And what are they doing over there?
They got 3 cards back.
Yeah, popsicle.
Popsicle.
Oh, they got popsicle.
They Geysered when they were way behind on board.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, well, okay.
That was ridiculous.
I was like, I have so many
on board and on lore. That's not when you want to go.
And I had a Tamatoa, and like crazy one is like, I guess I only have like one item in hand. I was like, well, I guess I can play this for free. And then they literally like I quested Tamatoa, played the popsicle, like quested with Hiram, and they just quit. I was like, well, no, come on, I had so many options. It's like,
I don't know.
Rick, did you have one last thing to say on this one before we go to another one?
I trust Mo Shamblin when it comes to this list. I think it has the right ratios. I don't think Baymax was ever a 4 of. I like Geyser in theory, but like you said, this is a protect the manor deck. If you can land 2 manors and then Geyser, I think you're winning that game 99% of the time. And I've seen this absolutely destroy blue steel. So if this could beat blue steel consistently, what's to say wrong about it?
Yeah.
I mean, again, like, it has to be fun. Like,
oh, blue green is always fun to play, not to be against.
I mean, yeah, once it gets churning, it's like, okay, all right, okay.
I think the last one we'll talk about is what Bivens is going to play.
Oh, Steel Song lives.
And I believe this is a Wochuk build.
Yeah.
These are amber cards, and these are steel cards, and that is my reaction.
I actually have Alex's list just ready to go because I just sent it to somebody, but I'll put it in the chat maybe. But Wochuk's is a little bit different. Oh wait, no, it has the one of Nala. It has the one of Nala. It has everything that this list actually has. Yeah, so it's the same.
Zach at some point, this was Wochuk's list at
close,
one point.
Right?
Yeah, Zach and Chuck are really good friends, and they work together a lot on deck building and testing.
This looks awesome.
What does Bianca do?
She's discounted by 2 if you have a single ally tag in play.
Yeah.
The discount cannot go lower than 2. It's just
so she costs 4 if you have one ally in play.
4 costs 5.
Or if you have 12 allies at play, she still costs 4.
If you have an ally.
Yeah. They just has to meet the condition, and then it's a cost reducer.
So she's just a 5/5 on 4. Pretty good.
Yeah, that can sing a whole new world and is difficult for a lot of decks to clear. You see the Troubadour because he's an ally instead of a villain, like Ursula. Daisy, I think is one of, if not the only Daisy cards that's not a hero. She's an ally.
Interesting. I'm going to have to look at that now.
Nala is an ally. Smee is an ally. Lawrence is an ally. So if you just play something on curve and it survives, Bianca is probably going to be discounted. And I think Bianca is a really cool innovation in Steel Song right now, because she does a couple things that Steel Song has kind of struggled with, which is having a cheap card that can sing a whole new world that's difficult to clear, and she offers a lot of ability to rumble. She threatens locations, which Steel Song can sometimes struggle with. She threatens to clear Hiram with just challenging her and one other thing, which is pretty good. She's a large character. The one thing that I would like on Bianca, but I think she'd probably be way too good at that point, is a second lore pip. But if Tamatoa can have 2 lore pips and generate 7 ink, like Bianca can have 2 lore pips and cost 2 less.
What a crime!
What a crime!
Oh, just real quick. There is other ally. So this
Daisy.
one and this one. But you're right. Most of them are hero tags.
Okay, 4 of 7 heroes, 3 of 7 allies.
Oh, that makes sense.
I wonder when they say, okay, we're printing another Daisy card, and they have a discussion. Well, is this one a hero or an ally?
They just flip a coin.
So are there any other characters that have like that tag discrepancy? Because I think like every single Simba is going to be a hero.
That sounds like a good like 2 Scrooges discussion there, bud.
All right, we'll save it. We'll save it for that
another random R2 spreadsheet.
Like I can think of characters that gain other tags, but not losing them.
What is it? That entire
again, like Morph itself is such a cool card because it is kind of like it's any card to shift onto. But I wonder if we would get any tag kind of cards. I wonder if they would print another morph, and that's what that would be. That'd be pretty cool.
Like hero shift, like heroes can shift onto this one.
Or no, you could just say whatever tribal this card is. Like you could say it's a broom, and now it's another broom.
Like a what are those shapeshifter?
No, shapeshifter in Magic?
Yeah.
There's another term for it, I thought, but
the Simbas are all heroes, but there is an interesting thing. Some of them are kings, and some of them are princes.
Yeah, if he's young or old, dude, come on.
No, I think there's some where he's an adult where he's a prince, right?
Yep.
Was that like a Floodborn or Dreamborn though?
Yeah, the Pride Protector, he's a king, right?
Boomy would know this.
Oh no,
he's a
Fighting
prince.
Okay.
Fighting Prince
So
is
Prince,
Dreamborn.
Rightful
king. Prince, king, prince, king.
Ooh.
Well, that's kind of nice.
And
Yeah.
that's these are all
obviously
princes.
somewhere after Scar.
So, my God, the other day my daughter was like, "Hey," she's like, "Why is Simba king and not Mufasa now?" And I was like, "Well, Scar killed Mufasa," and she was like, "Long live the king," and I was like,
That's such
"Hey,
a
I
good
gotta
response.
go." Yeah, I just like in like direct eye contact too. I was like, okay, well, I guess you get it. Like,
you should stay away from gorges.
yeah, I know. I mean, no, she was like, she was watching The Lion Guard, like that little like Disney Junior show,
Yeah.
and she was like, that's like Simba's like son, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh cool. And I'm like, who's your favorite? She's like, Scar. He's my favorite boy. And I was like,
Yeah. All right.
That's not good. Like,
That's
not great. Not great.
all right. Where's therapy?
Yeah, no, yeah. We have like a therapy jar in my house. No, yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, like that's not the role model, but okay.
I mean, Boomy, you said that this list excites you in terms of Amber Steel, but like now you've had like a day or so to think about it. Like, how do you feel about this list? Where are you going with it? Would you sleeve this up?
I would test this out. I would prefer to play it on a digital client before I put it in sleeves, because that's always a pain in my butt. I hate digging cards out of boxes, putting them in sleeves. Yeah, like that's a whole other tangent. That's a whole other episode of Two Scrooges. But
I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, why don't you just test it, like sleeve it up? And I'm like, that's half the battle. I'm like, how did you old Magic players do it? That's awful. You could just like click and then import and be done.
I feel like I had so much time for sleeving and unsleeving cards when I was in college. I don't understand. Now it's like, oh, I should sleeve up a deck for that tournament I'm going to play. And it's like, man, I'll do it the morning of.
Just like at the table, you're filling out your deck list and like sleeving the cards.
I'll wake up at 5 a.m. that morning and put the cards in sleeves then. Sorry, back to this. I think this list is cool. I think the shift lines are at an all-time low because Let the Storm Rage On is at an all-time high. Getting a big Robin Hood into play against Blue Steel is probably good, but getting him to survive till turn 3, getting the little one to survive until turn 3 is probably difficult to do. I think I would definitely test out Bianca's moving forward. There are a few cards in here that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I trust Chuck's judgment because he's been playing Steel Song forever as well. I like Troubadour over Vanessa here. Gaston is a card that is good against the Brawl decks, but I'm really interested in trying Aurora, not really for her untapping ability, but for her being another card that's good against Blue Steel and questing for 2. So when she's not singing, you actually get value out of turning her sideways. And she holds the full amount of damage for Rapunzel, which you lose by not playing Vanessa. World's Greatest Criminal Mind is a card that is pretty good. Right now, people are playing Sharks, people are playing big Tamatoas, people are playing big Sisus. The one thing, like when I think about World's Greatest Criminal Mind, it's like, why couldn't the new Tamatoa have 5 strength as well? Like, why couldn't it be a 5/4 or just a 5/5? Like, because the way the yellow interactive spells care about 5 strength or more, or the 2 yellow cards that can remove other characters from the board, but not very many relevant things have that. So like there is a deck building cost to putting World's Greatest Criminal Mind in your deck, which is you might play against decks that you might play against all decks that don't have targets for that card.
Well, while we have Bumi here, what about? So this is over. This was the encounter. This was I believe a 1.5K.
Okay.
Braden ended up winning it with Zan's blue steel list, but this was one of the lists. This is what he faced in the finals, I believe. Because Steve Dan did a video on this, and I believe that the player who's running this just didn't have the time to get set 7 cards.
Okay.
So that's why there aren't any in the list.
Right. I mean, the set 7 cards you'd play are like Penny, Bolt's Person. You wouldn't play Troubadour in a deck like this. You could try to sneak Cinderella in her shoes in a list like this, but I don't think there's enough discard outlets, and there's no princes at all here, so that would be like a whole deck building shift. I like this list. It's a solid dock pile. 4 Benja is pretty nice. Like sometimes 1 Benja is enough to knock an item's deck off balance enough for you to like quest out. It looks good. I like Tiana. Tiana into Pluto is a very strong play. Yeah, looks like a solid dock pile to me. I was never really a fan of the mines. I know the mines provide a lot of utility, but I just kind of prefer in a list like this, 52 characters and 8 busted songs.
Well, let's see, one more I want to look at, also from the encounter. So this is the one drop I was talking about. One of my locals is very a fan of this card.
What does it do?
It's a small Hiram.
Yeah,
but only on Quest.
Wish.com Hiram.
Yeah, that's generous.
So whenever this character
Quest, you may banish chosen item to draw a card.
So you get to draw 1 card from this, maybe?
Yeah.
Yep.
That is definitely it.
All right.
Until
I mean,
Bellstorm.
you get to do the funny thing you wanted to, Fumbles, right? It's like you play this guy on 1, and then turn 2 you do the tool and then the free coil.
I mean, this is a list where you definitely want 3 of those tools, right? Like,
because you play
tools.
Tool on
I was just
2.
saying, there's 2 of them.
Right. How? Yeah, it doesn't line up enough, right?
So,
Yeah, you always find it. Don't worry.
Do you guys?
Okay. Oh yeah, my bad.
Do you guys recall early in set 6 where we were like, oh, cool, we just throw Shark into your regular red-blue pile, and you throw all the big characters, and then we just see DKPs like, none of those big characters. We're capping at 6. And like this is like kind of the issue that red blue will always deal with is like we have all these good cards, but can you play both all that Shark actions and big cards like Tamatoa? I just don't I don't know. It's like trying to do everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's like 2 Pirates Life, 2 of the tools,
Right,
2 of the
like
new.
2 ofs.
Do we know how this one?
And they like the only thing we're doing for sure is, and then 2 big
This
Sisu
was,
with all those little tiny ones.
Top 4.
2 crabs.
Interesting.
I mean, again, this is day 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, for sure. It's one of those things that would definitely get like ironed out, right? You do more reps, you have more games, you test new cards, right?
And like now we're finding like Dragon is fine, but which is so sad.
Dragon goes through the eternal cycle of okay, meta's too fast, let's put dragons down. Oh, okay, 2 months have gone by, set champs are around the corner. Oh, I can just ramp to 9 and play dragon again.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Dragon probably has like the most sinusoidal price curve of any card, because like a new set comes out, it goes down, and then later it goes back up because people are playing, and then a new set comes in and it goes back down. And it's been like that basically since set 2 came out.
I got my Japanese dragon in. That excites me.
Nice.
I mean, that's why I play red blue, right? Like I want to play dragons. Like that's why I'm here. And then so like I can't. I'm like, fine. And then back again, like, all right, dragons. That's basically what it is. Is it dragons? That's what I want.
Is it dragons? Okay, that's the segment next time. Is it dragons? Yeah.
Is it dragon?
I think that's everything I had on the docket. So I mean, if no one else has anything,
I could look at that. Oops, all Baymax deck. Where's that one? I'm just
We
kidding.
could talk about like the upcoming
Which one?
Events.
One that Justin made.
We kind of talked about we didn't talk about the CCS that's happening, right?
Oh
And then-
yeah. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we know color is
It's
going.
happening.
Yeah, Color's going. A lot of people are going. I think this will be the biggest event to date for Set 7. I really wish I could go. I'm very excited to see how it goes. I think. Go ahead.
Oh no, I have something to gripe about. But I'll get that in later.
I think I'm curious to see, now that we've seen a meta of Oswald, we've seen a meta of, cool red blue with Bell. Like, is there anything that sneaks up and like just destroys these decks? Because like, sure, green yellow's cool, sure, amber steel can just do things. It has to be green steel, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Anytime you forget about blue steel or green steel, that's when you get bit in the ass by green steel.
I had 2 reactions to seeing a meta that was going to be blue steel and red blue. One was, I wish Pete didn't exist, so that I could play my amber, emerald, Kita Under the Sea discard control list.
Yeah. Pete just hoses that deck.
Pete really does kind of shut that deck down. The other was that a few sets ago, Red Fossa was pretty good into both blue lists. I know that there are some people working on it. I don't know that Red Fossa can handle Coil, though.
Blue Steel is a completely different deck, too. Like,
also, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
and there's, like, different iterations of it, too, so it's like, there is no Blue Steel right now, it feels like.
Hard to tell.
Can Red Fossa, like, rumble with a 3/3 on 1 and a 4/4 on turn 3, plus
Crabs, well, I was thinking maybe, like, the Shift Mulan could be pretty good coming out of there. Because that would clear Big Crab as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. She's a little telegraphed, but I imagine, people are putting in Tematoa in their decks to generate 7 free ink, like, but also the Mulans are pretty easy to clear.
Yeah, Mulans are easy to clear. They're telegraphed. You'll probably get away with it once or twice, and then they'll start not exerting their bell or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I hope I hope the deck builders smarter than I can crack this format, because it's a lot of fun to watch, but so far I haven't had a whole lot of fun playing it.
I feel like Amethyst is just kind of like right now. I mean, it is a color.
Look really bad into blue and steel cards.
But on the topic of events, though, it's kind of a bummer because of the set champ timing. But there is an SCG con in Hartford, Connecticut that I think Fumbles and I will both be at.
All right.
Well, hopefully. They haven't announced any like significant details.
Right. They've only announced that Lorcana is going to be there, and we're assuming that it's the same like 1K, 2K, 1K on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It could be a 10-person event, and I'm going.
It could be pack rushes or something.
I'm still there.
I'll pack rush. I'll play competitive pack rush.
Dude, I can't play pack rush with Bumi.
I would do
try
that
again.
But I mean, that'll be fun. I know that there have been talks with some of our Canadian players that might be coming down for that. Josh, maybe?
Dude, just come on. Dude, we'll share a little couch in a hotel room with like 12 other people, and it's going to be a great time.
I mean, you came down for the last Hartford one, right?
I did, yeah. That was my first big event. It was pretty fun. I met like a lot of people that don't play the game anymore, but some do, so it was pretty funny. Like, that's where I met George for the first time, and then I met Talaman briefly. Who else did I meet? I met like a couple other people, but I can't remember. Yeah. But it was fun. I top 8'd the Friday, and then Saturday I went 5-0 into like 5-3 and didn't make top cut or something like that. And it was like fun. Yeah.
But that'll be exciting.
Yeah. And I guess in terms of other events, WCC is also having an event.
Nice.
Right.
Last weekend of March, I believe 28, 29.
Are you
in Wisconsin?
Are you planning on attending that one?
I was gonna go, but I am dragged into a party by my wife. On Saturday, so that's no.
That's the one. That's the one I might go to. If the format ends up, I mean, it's 2 hours from my house driving. You know, I could just get up in the morning.
Oh, that's not bad.
Right up with our friend Jbaum maybe any.
Oh, you have a drive. Yeah.
What's that?
You have a driver, so you're just gonna go with him.
Well, I mean, I would drive or he would drive, but that kind of car ride is a lot more bearable with a buddy. You know, instead of driving 2.5 hours thinking about all of your terrible decisions that are in your deck.
But like, all right,
and just in general in life, I was like, I mean, that's what I do when I drive too.
Yeah.
So
alone with your thoughts for 2.5 hours,
a little rough.
You and Jbaum are driving to an event. Who's controlling the radio?
I am letting Jbaum put on the music because I'm really interested in what that guy listens to.
And how many?
I feel like I would just let him talk for the entire drive. Honestly,
no, you know what song he's gonna put on?
Music.
No, just don't even put like
you'll like check in at Discord at 9:18 on a Sunday morning, and like you'll just read the craziest thing you've ever read in your life, and it's just like it's so funny.
I'm just like having a normal day, and you're just like,
that's
what I'm saying. I was like, for the drive, just like light music, instrumental only, and just ask him questions.
Yeah.
What was the Jbaum
reveal
recently? It was like something about shipping cards and weighing things.
Oh yeah,
he's like, oh yeah, I use my scale and I just convert it.
He's like,
he's like, isn't there a button?
Yeah, and it wasn't me, but I was thinking it, but yeah. Did you read his list of top 5 foods of all time?
Oh no,
that was the best. That was my favorite. Yeah,
you have that?
It was so good.
Number 1 is like A5 Wagyu beef, which is like the most.
It was number 2. Honestly, I thought it was like number 2.
1 or 2. But
it was 1. It was 1.
Okay, and then
it was 1. Okay, okay.
Number 2 was like the fried onions, the fried onions at Outback Steakhouse.
Bloomin' onion.
That is a gulf of quality of food.
Yeah.
Between those two.
This is all time, by the way.
Was it?
Favorite food of all time.
Yeah. No, like, where was it? Oh my god, it was so funny. The list was absolutely unhinged.
Yeah, but it's like it's like I couldn't, it's like he has a list of his top 5 foods, and he's put a lot of thought. Like, like he, I imagine his list goes beyond that, like, but he just gave us the top 5.
Yeah.
But
it's reasonable, just like condense it for us.
Yeah, but
I bet there's a lot of nostalgic pull for those bloomin' onions. That's what it is.
Dude, bloomin' onions slap, by the way. I could eat 10 of them.
I can't anymore. Like they, no, absolutely not.
10
my cardiologist.
They make me so sick now. Oh my god, they're so greasy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's an Outback near me anymore.
All right, let's see if there's one in Hartford.
Oh my god, you guys are gonna go to Outback? There you go. Jbaum, this is for you specifically.
Yeah, this is for you, Jbaum, your own segment. Yeah. And yeah, you know what song I think he'll put on? The Oscar Mayer Wiener song. I feel like that's him. That's like a Jbaum
banger. God.
If anybody knows the Oscar Mayer Wiener song besides me, it's Jbaum.
Yeah.
Okay, locations in.
Wait, here, I found it. Haha, the list. Okay, so number 1 is okay, hold on. The graded A5 Wagyu ribeye steak, Outback cheese fries. Not even the bloomin' onion.
Outback cheese fries. That's right.
Outback cheese fries.
The closest one is 7 miles away, Pete.
Yeah, we're good.
The 5th one was Popeye's shrimp tackle box.
He does love Popeyes. I'm surprised is there a hot dog thing on the list in Noel?
No hot dogs.
That's surprising.
Oh,
Pocket dog's not on there.
Yeah, pocket dog.
Wagyu beef, Outback cheese fries,
transcends
salmon nigiri.
Yeah, salmon.
Okay, yeah, Zook salmon nigiri, smoked salmon with a brush of truffle oil.
One thing I want to throw in
Cajun seafood boil, and then Popeye's tackle box. Yeah,
nice.
How specific the nigiri is, like that's like the dead giveaway that he's put a ton of thought into his favorite food.
No, it's in brackets. Yeah, smoked salmon with a brush of truffle oil.
Yeah.
Oof. He definitely had that at a specific restaurant, probably like a Nobu or something. You know who's so funny too? Christian. Whenever he wins a tournament or plays really well at a tournament, goes to like an extremely expensive restaurant immediately after.
Man, that's the way to do it.
Dude, that's a celebration, am I right? He's like, "Yeah, we're going out for 2 Michelin stars tonight.
Yeah.
We won a box of Azurite Sea."
He said, "I've had Michelin star restaurants, and while it's all good, it doesn't have the bold and exciting Creole flavors as Popeyes."
Sponsor us, Popeyes.
Wow, sponsor, yes. All right, thank you for joining us for the Popeyes Presents SLTP.
We can probably get Jbaum on every week wearing Popeyes gear.
Is that what the sponsorship we really need? That was it.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
not the one we need, it's the one
arguably.
we want. Wait, I said that the wrong way.
I know
Yeah.
it's the one you want.
That was our Jbaum segment. We love you, Jbaum.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if
Thank you for bringing joy to our lives.
if I can ride up to world class cards, and there's a deck that I'm also like excited to play. That's something I really look forward to.
Oh, now I want to go. If
Wait,
Bumi
sorry,
goes,
which
I
deck
wanna
was
go.
that?
Huh?
Did you say what deck it was?
Just in general.
I don't know. I like yellow cards and gray cards.
Oh, okay.
If there's some combination of those that are good.
Oh,
I might...
you're saying if something emerges over the next 2 weeks that
it's like-
catches your eye. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
My so I recently moved and I put up my like nano leaf stuff.
Mhm.
Oh.
Just fell?
Is that
Like
a cactus in Baymax's head behind you?
it is.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I got it from Disney World. It's like literally just like a little Baymax,
I need it.
Yep.
and then it's got a little cactus. Boop, boop,
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
you love Baymax, right?
Fantastic.
I do love Baymax. Yes,
Makes sense.
it makes me happy.
My middle child and I will do the.
La, 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 la,
La,
la.
la, la. Yeah. My daughter likes to do that.
He's
yeah.
a big fan.
She thinks it's funny.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for coming. Hope
Yeah.
everyone had a good time, and we will catch you all on the next episode.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Later.